And we're getting ready for Navratri here at the Sadashiva Golden Temple. First Sadashiva Temple. Actually, Paramashiva Temple. Golden Temple. You can probably hear the music now. So we're going into Chandi Homa, which will be starting tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. India Standard Time. So it goes for about 10 hours. So it's an amazing thing. If you look at it, we're living in the physical world, but we also have access to the spiritual world. And even the unmanifest or the subtle parts of us, like the mind, the emotions that you can't see but are there. So what's the connection between, how do you connect from the physical to the spiritual world? That's the fire. The fire has both form and formlessness. So literally, the fire opens up a connection. See, there's thousands of ways that Hindu tradition has developed for you to realize your best possibility, but one of them is through fire. And what do you do with fire? And one of the things is when you get the pure ghee from the desi cow, from the traditional Indian purified cows here, when you get the pure ghee from them, when you put that into fire, a huge amount of oxygen is released. And so that creates a conscious shift in your brain and in your consciousness. So all this is different sciences of how to burn what kind of herbs and what order and what chanting to do. We have deities in their form, their spiritual form. I have my spiritual form. I also have my physical form. I also have my audible form that you can hear. And I have my mental form that is full of thoughts. So likewise, deities can be produced through the science of sound. So when you create the proper rhythm and the proper sequence of sounds, the space in front of you that is resonant with sound can invoke that deity and they'll shower their blessings upon you. This is the science of Sanskrit, the science of sound, which is the language Sanskrit. So this is going on. It's Chandi Homa. It's Navaratri, celebration of the divine feminine consciousness. So Shiva's like the source of consciousness, but that going into reality, that manifesting in reality, is known as the space of Shakti. So without the manifestation of Shiva into reality, Shiva just remains there. And what we could kind of refer to as Shava, like a sleepiness. But only when Shakti is there, the movement of consciousness into form, into life, then Shiva realizes his full manifestation. So necessary, and the mother of all things, the divine feminine consciousness. Unique to the Hindu tradition. Every year, celebrating 9 nights, all forms of divine feminine consciousness. All this is developed by the Vedic tradition. Not that thinking is exclusive to Vedic tradition, but the many thought trends, 6 in particular, that lead one to liberation have been developed by Vedic tradition. The Sanskrit language has been discovered and developed by the Vedic tradition. Not necessarily created by the Vedic tradition, but developed by the Vedic tradition, practiced by the Vedic tradition, reproduced by the Vedic tradition, multiplied by the Vedic tradition, and handed down over millions of generations by Vedic tradition. Yoga has a science. Yoga has a religion. Yoga is a Sanskrit word. Yoga is developed by Hinduism. Yoga has a religion. That religion is Hinduism. Be very clear. If you practice yoga, if you bow down in namaskar, you are worshipping Hindu. You are giving thanks and gratitude to the lineage of Vedic tradition, of Hindu masters who developed, discovered, disseminated yoga through the culture and consciousness of Vedic rishis and the Vedic sciences and the Hindu lifestyle. Be very clear, the moment you bow down in namaskar for yoga, you are practicing Hindu.